Hello, scholars. So we are continuing our work with this target where we're learning how to participate in our government and the importance of it. So how and why. So we're really still working on what the government is, right, and how it was created. So we know that the government are the people who make the rules and laws. The founding fathers helped create the government. They wrote the US Constitution, and then later the Bill of Rights, which just gave us more of an idea to tell citizens the rights that we have, the freedoms that nobody can take away from us because they are our rights. So, what you are going to do today is you are going to have the chance to hear these rights and choose the one that's most important to you. So, what I would do if I were you is I would have something to write on. So, maybe you have your journal or your scrap notebook paper, right? And when you hear one that really sticks out as being important to you, then write that down so you remember it. So today you have a seesaw activity, and you are going to pick the amendment that is the most important to you. Okay? So when you click on the activity, I'm going to view it as my sample student. Okay. My bad. So you have the instructions, and it says, it gives you this link here. I'm going to go over this link right with you. But if you forget when you're done watching this video, you can click on the website and it will take you here yourself. All right. So the First Amendment, it gives people the freedom of speech, that you can say what you want to say. And it also protects people to have the right to practice whatever religion they want or to believe what they would want. So that's your right. That's the First Amendment. So again, we see if we want to read about an amendment, we just click on the plus here. Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. So that's the right to have guns. It's the right to have guns to protect yourself, as long as you do so in a responsible way and only to protect yourself. Okay, so this is something that was the founding fathers found it important to put in, but we might not see the importance. So it gives you the right when you own a home to say, no, soldiers, you cannot use my home. Because when the Revolutionary War happened, British soldiers used to force people to let them use their homes because the fighting took place in the country. We don't have that very often. We haven't had that since the Civil War in the United States. So this is something that probably would never happen, but it's still good that we have that right to say, no, you cannot use my house. I'm not comfortable with it. Fourth Amendment. The government can't just come and say, I'm taking this away from you or I'm searching your house. They have to have a warrant. They have to have a reason to do so. Hold on, guys. All right, the Fifth Amendment. So it says that a person has the right to a trial. So if you get accused of a crime, it's not like they can just throw you in jail. You get a trial where you have someone to help prove you're innocent, and maybe there's someone on the other side that tries to prove that you're guilty. It also says that you can't be tried for the same thing twice. So if they say you're not guilty, they can't just be like, new trial, oh, you're guilty, you're in jail. Right? Once you have a trial and you're proven not to be guilty, you cannot be found guilty again. All right. So I know these might seem a little hard to us to understand. So again, that's why I recommend if you hear one that really sticks out to you, write it down on paper so you remember. And of course, like I said, the link here, right? You click on this on the seesaw activity. So if you forget, you can explore it yourself. Number 6. Okay, so it gives people the right to a public trial. All right, kind of goes along with with 5. The 7th Amendment gives people the right to a jury trial. So if your case is really serious and the judge has a hard time making the decision, then you can have a jury, which instead of just one judge who bangs the gavel, makes a decision, you get 12 other people that decide and help the judge determine if you're guilty or not. Okay, so the 8th Amendment means that they can't set your bail really high or give you cruel and unusual punishment. So, like, they can't, when you get arrested, they can't beat you up, they can't torture you. They don't have the right to do that to you. All right, so then the 9th Amendment, it's kind of funny. It says that just because there's some specific rights that this Bill of Rights makes very clear, does not mean that these are the only rights that you have. You have other rights that aren't necessarily in this Bill of Rights. That kind of always cracks me up. All right. And the 10th Amendment says that the federal government only has powers delegated in the Constitution. So the federal government can only do, the highest level of government can only do what the Constitution says it can. So if it tries to do something that isn't listed, that's not right. They don't have the right to do that. Their rights are outlined in the Constitution. And they have to stick to that and that alone. Okay, so I know that might have been a lot. If you need to go back and listen to me, feel free. And like I said, this is on your Seesaw activity, right? When you go to the activity, if you go to instructions, see this thingy means link, click on it, and it will bring you to this very page that I just was on with you. Okay? So, now again, my bad, guys. All right. It's going to be your job now. You get to use the tool, so you can use the T tool if you would like, or the drawing tool down here to write. You are going to pick the amendment number that you think is the most important. Remind us what it says and draw what it means. Okay? So maybe you think that the freedom of speech is the most important. Maybe you think number 1 is. So you can put number 1, explain what it means, and then draw what it means. Okay? When you are done, you can click on the green check. And that's it. All right? Okay, get to work.